शङ्करांशभूम शङ्करार्यपीठसद्गुरुन् शुद्धसत्त्वभासुरान् सुवर्त्मनीतभूसुरान् सर्वभूतसौख्यदान् क्षमाकरान् यतीश्वरान्.
श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः. सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्. श्रीगुरुचरणद्वन्द्वं वन्देऽहम् अचितदुस्सहद्वन्द्वं भ्रान्तिग्रहोपशान्तिं त्वां सुमयं So in this series of shlokas where the enlightened disciple is expressing his experience of Brahman realization in various ways. So here we continue in that series. Now he says, Jnanamaham, Neyamaham, Jnataham, Jnana Sadhana Ganoham, Jnatrigneya, Vinakrita, Gunakritam, Astitva, Matra Mevaham. So here it is very, very simple but very popular and crucial doctrinal tenet of Advaita, where the Triputi, where the knower, knowing and known, that triad is transcended. This triad is there in all our experiences in the state of ignorance. But in the realization of Brahman, this triad is transcended. Jnanamaham, I am the knowledge or the perception that is gained by the contact of the senses impelled by the mind and the outside objects. So Jnanamaham, Jneyamaham, I am the outside object which is known. Jnataham, I am the knower. Jnana Sadhana Ganoham, I am all the instruments involved in this knowing process. Jnatri Jnana Jneya Vinakritam. So I have transcended, or I am devoid of all these factors involved in any knowing process. Jnatri Jnana Jneya Vinakritam. Astitva Matra Mevaham. So I am pure existence alone with no activity or anything happening in me really. So Dhyana Dhyatra Jaya Veda, that kind of name is there in the Lalita Sahasranam also. The meditator and the meditation and the meditator and meditated. So all this triad is also transcended. All this actually is Atman only appearing as all this. So the one who is knowing, even in the state of ignorance, the one who is knowing is the Atman. One who is known, or that which is known, is also the Atman in that form. And the knowing process is Atman, and all the factors involved in this process, that is the mind, the sense organs, and the prana is also involved. So all these things are all Atman alone appearing as all this duality. So when all this duality is reduced to one Atman, that is the nature of the true self. Jnanamiti, Jnanam Padartha Grahika Vrittihi. So Jnanam is technically defined as that manovritti, which is the one which grasps the object and converts it into a form of knowledge. So the object is lying outside. So the sense organ contacts the object and it gives the input of that knowledge to the mind. So the mind, then it is called jnana. Then jneyam, jnana vishayaha. So the object of knowledge is called jneyam. Jnata is vritti dvara vishaya jnanavan. So the jnata is the jiva here, who is the one who is employing his mind and the sense organs with a view to know the object, and he is the one who is getting the benefit of that knowledge as some kind of knowledge that is happening in him. So he is gaining that knowledge. And jnana sadhana ganaha, indriya samuhaha. So I am the all the factors involved in this process, that is the sense organs, the mind, everything is me alone. Jnatra jnana jneya vinakritam Astitvam. So I am the pure consciousness, pure existence, which is bereft of, devoid of all these divisions. So this is called the Nirvikalpa state. So Savikalpa state will be where the triad is perceived. Nirvikalpa state is that where the triad is transcended. Jnatritwadi Tritaya Rahitam Astitvam Matra Ahmeva. So the pure consciousness, which is none other than this pure existence, which is free from all these divisions. Next one is Tatvatita Padoham Tadantaro Asmiti Bhavarahitoham Tamasa Durabhigamoham Tatvam Pada Bodha Bodhya Pritayoham. So Tatvatita Padoham. So I am that pure Swarupam, or the ultimate reality, which is free from all the various elements or ingredients which is constituting the whole world. So this tattva is actually, the tattva is a technical term which is given to indicate the so many factors involved in this creation of this world and the created world. So it's called Panchavimshati Tattva. For example, in the Chaturvimshati Tattva is the 24 such factors are there according to the Sankhya Shastra. So this is what is meant by Tattvam here. So I am beyond all this. Actually, this 24 is only the division of so many things which are available in the world, in groupings or categories. But then I am beyond all these categories, because what is the one pure substratum of all these categories is what is appearing as so many categories through the medium of avidya. So ultimately, when we reduce all these categories to one, that one is the pure tattvam, and that is me. So tattvatita padoham tadantaro asmiti bhavarahitoham. So tadantara asmiti tattvantare aham asmiti. So I am not in any one of them. So I am not all of them. I am not even any one of them. So that is my true nature. So that's kind of a wrong notion I don't have at all. That I am one among them is a wrong knowledge, and I am free from that. Tamasa durabhigamoham. So I can't be attained by those who have the tamasic mentality. So it is beyond their reach. Tattvam pada bodhya hridayoham. So I am that Swarupam, which is indicated by the Tatpadam and Tvam and the Aikyam of that, the pure consciousness as a Jiva and pure consciousness as Ishvara. So I am the one which is indicated through that Mahavakya. Tatvatita pada iti. Tatvatita padaha tatvani chaturvimshatihi debhyo atita padaha tadrahita swarupaha. So this Chaturvimshati Tattvam is very, very famous in the Sankhya Shastra, and it is very clearly available also in all the in the internet also. One can see that. So here I have just made a note of that. I am just reading out from that. So here there is a shloka also for that in the Sankhya Shastra. So the groups or categories involved in that is like this. Kevala Prakriti is the one. Mula Prakriti. Prakriti is the Mula Prakriti. That is what is appearing as so many things. So Kevala Prakriti is that. There is one. Prakriti Vikriti. That is the transformations or what has emerged from or effects of the Prakriti. They are 7 in number. Mahat, Ahankaraha, then Shabda, Rupa, Rasa, Sparsha, Gandha. So these 5 Vishayas in the creation, and Mahat and Ahankara. These are all 7. So now we have got 8. Then Kevala Vikriti. So that which is purely the transformation of Prakriti, that is called the Manas. And then Pancha Jnanendriya, that is 5 sense organs. Then 5 motor organs, and the 5 Panchabhutas. So all these 15. So 15 plus 1, 16. So now we've got 7, 8 plus 16, 24. And then the one which is distinct from that is Purusha. Na prakriti. He is neither prakriti nor vikriti. So the samsara is because of this Purusha taking the attributes of the Prakriti and the Prakriti itself as himself. So the Prakriti is actually completely inert. It is Jada. Whereas this Purusha takes upon the Prakriti as himself, that is the body-mind complex, everything is Jada only, as we have seen just now. So he sees that he takes himself to be that. And that is why he is in samsara. That is why this Bhagavad Gita also very clearly says in the 13th chapter, Purusha Prakristhohi Bhumte Prakritijan Gunan Karanam Gunasangosya Sadasya Dyoni Janmasu. So the Gita shloka is so very nice. It says that the Purusha, that is the Atma Tattvam, it somehow, because of avidya, it sees itself in as something which is the inert body-mind complex and the outside world. So it doesn't have the identification with the outside world as itself, but it has got the strong identification with the body-mind complex as the Panchakoshas as itself. And all the attributes of the Panchakoshas, like the Stula Shariram is subject to birth and death, and the Sukshma Shariram, which is subject to so many transformations like Sukham, Dukkham, Ichha, Dvesha, anxiety, all that. So he takes himself to be all that. And that is why he is in samsara, and that is the one which leads him to be born again and again and continue or perpetuating this samsara. And the remedy for that is the viveka between the Purusha and the Prakriti. So he has to take resort to the study of Vedanta and practice, and finally separate himself totally from the Prakriti and claim himself to be the Purusha. And that's the whole of 13th chapter of the Gita is about this only. And one can see the Bhashyam there, and which is so very reminiscent of the Adhyasa Bhashya, because that Adhyasa is what is this sloka of the 13th chapter. Now, continuing here, Tadrahita Rupaha, Tadantaro Ahamasmiti, Tattvantare Ahamasmiti, Tad Tattva Madhye Yo Bhavaha, Abhiprayaha, Tadrahitaha. So, if he considers himself to be any one of them, any one of these 24, then also he is, that is also ignorance only. But I am free from all that ignorance. That's what this shloka says. Tamasa durabhigamaha, tamasaha tamovrittayaha, taihi durabhigamaha dushprapaha. So it is impossible for those with the given to tamasic thoughts or tamasic mentality to know this tattva. The bodhya hridayaha, tattvam padayoho yo bodhaha, Aikyam Atmalakshanam Jnanam Tena Bodhainiyam Hridayam Antakaranam Yasya So Ahameva. So the Tattvam Pada Aikyam, that is the Aparoksha Jnanam, it has to happen in the locus of mind only. So Manas is the only instrument with which one can realize this Tattva Pada Aikyam, and then that knowledge also has to happen in the Antakaranam only. So I am that I am the one in whose Antakaranam this Jnanam has taken place. So here also, in the ultimate analysis of the Advaita Tattvam, even this Mahavakya and the Aikya Jnanam, it is only a Vritti Jnanam, and it belongs to the category of Jada Prakriti only. That is Vyavaharika Satyam only, because from the ultimate standpoint, there is Brahman alone and nothing apart from Brahman. And Brahman has never ever been subject to samsara. So there was no jiva at all. There was no one who is thinking that he is bound, and no one who is there who is trying to come out of this bondage, and there is no one who has ultimately come out of bondage. So this kind of a very unique truth is acceptable only in the Vedanta, and our Gaudapada Karika is there. Of course, it is from some other Upanishad also, Minor Upanishad. Nirodho na chotpattihi na baddho na sadakaha shurnavai muktaha ityesha paramartata. So this sloka, very famous sloka in the Gaudapada Karika of the Mount. So there it says, na nirodha. Nirodha is actually destruction. And utpatti is creation. So there is no world at all. So there is no creation and destruction also. And Oh, Nacha Sadhakaha. There is no Jiva at all because world has itself has not emerged. There is no question of Jiva also. So there is no bound Jiva at all. Then there is no aspirant also. Then no mumukshuho. There is no aspirant after liberation. Nacha navai muktaha. There is no one who has attained the state of liberation because there was no person itself. The person itself is not real. And since the world itself is not created really, there is no person and there is no one who thinks that he is bound, and there is none who is really making any efforts to come out of bondage, and none who has attained the goal of his sadhana, that is realization. So, namuktaha ityesha paramartha. This is the paramarthik satyam that the Upanishads teach. So, from that standpoint, when we see here, this bodhaniyam hridayam antakaranam yasya soahameva. So it's only the mind that is conceiving itself as a person and someone in bondage, and it is the mind alone which enters into the journey of spiritual sadhana and attains the knowledge. So that knowledge of being liberated or being the one who has gained the aproksha jnanam is also the mind only. So since the Atman is distinct from the mind, the Atman does not have any of these things at all. But if there are such clear statements in the Bhagavatam also, so it very clearly says that there is no samsara for Atman at all, and the question of bondage and liberation is all only in the level of ignorance. So next shloka, Daivata, Daitya, Nishachara, Manasa, Tiryam, Mahidhara, Mahidaradihi Aham, Dehendriya Rahitokam, Dakshina Purvadi Dig-Vibhagoham. So Daivata, Daitya. So these are all categories of jivas, various different jivas, and Jara in the creation. So Daivata, Daitya. Daitya is the one category of demons. Nishachara is the other category. Asuras and Rakshasas and all that. Nishacharam, Manasa, Tiryam, Mahidaradikam. So Tiryak is the animal category. Then Mahidara is the mountains and all that. So everything in creation. All these things are actually I alone appearing as all these things. Dehendriya Rahitokam. I am devoid of body mind complex at all. Then Dakshina Purvadi Dig Vibhagoham. So whatever categories or segments or subcategories in directions and space and all that is experienced or doing Vyavahara by us, all that is me alone appearing as those things at all. That's the north, south, up, down, all that is me alone appearing as space and directions and subdirections and all that. So here, in this shloka, it is he is claiming himself to be the various categories of directions or space. In another shloka before, some last class or before that, he says that I am all the units of time also, I myself. So I myself is appearing as all the units of time. Now he says that I myself am appearing as all the units of space also. So truly, from this point of view, space and time also don't exist in the ultimate reality. Daivata, Daitya, Nishachara, Man, human. So in this shloka there is a mistake, so I just make a correction. So all the categories are there. So the gods, the demons, the manushyas, the prani varga, all these are there. Okay. So Daivata, Daitya, Nishachara, Manava, Tiryam, Mahidara is mountain, Mahidaradi, Prasiddhanam, Etesham, Adihi. So I am the source from which all these have emerged. So ultimately, I am the Adhishtanam on which all these categories are superimposed. Dehendriya Rahitaha Tadbhinnaha. So I am devoid of body mind complex. What it means is I am distinct from the body mind complex. I am distinct from the Panchakoshas. Dakshina Purvadi Dig Vibhagaha Sarvadik Vibhagaha Vibhaga Swarupo Ahmeva. So I am the one which is appearing as all the directions and all the subdirections, northwest, northeast, everything, all the directions which we get. Actually, Atman alone appearing as all this. Then, Dharma Dharma Mayoham, Dharma Dharmadi Bandharahitoham, Dharmika Jana Sulabhoham, Dhanyoham, Dhaturadi Bhutoham. Dharma Dharma Mayoham. So, Dharma and Adharma are the actions which result in whatever actions persons perform, it results in either Dharma or Adharma. And actually here he is claiming that I am the Dharma and Adharma which is created by action of the humans. So Dharma is actually not which is already there. It is something which is produced by some action. So if it is produced by Vihita karma or enjoined action, it becomes punya, it becomes dharma, and when it is the result of any prohibited karma or nishidha karma, it becomes adharma. So I am the one which is appearing as dharma and adharma in the creation. Dharma dharma mayoham, dharma dharmadi bandharahitoham, but I am free from the bondage caused by dharma and adharma. And there is a famous statement in the Smriti that say that by excessive dharma, a person becomes take the form of gods, or there are so many categories of gods also. Gandharva, Kinnara, and so many things are there. Devata, Devas, and all that. So in the Devaloka, he will become he gets a position there. By extreme adharma, he gets some form of animal or sex and all that. But then a human birth is because of a combination or a kind of an equal proportion of dharma and adharma. So that is that's what results in human birth. So all humans can now very clearly understand that their situation now as human beings is because of their past dharma and dharma in equal proportion. Otherwise, if it was either dharma or adharma excessive, excess dharma or excess adharma, they would have ended up as animals or gods. So that we can think of our situation and then make corrections to come out of the clutches of both dharma and dharma, dharma and adharma. Then dharmika jana sulabhoham. But that my surupam, that is Atma, can be attained without much difficulty by those people who are given to dharma. That is why dharma is given so much importance in the Vedanta sadhana also, because dharma strengthens the sattva guna of a person, and sattva is required for jnana, because the Gita also says in the 14th chapter, sattva sanjayate jnanam, 14th or 17th. So it says that sattva, from sattva guna alone, jnanam happens. So when this atma jnanam has to happen, that person has to be very, very highly sattvic. So dharmika jana sulabhoham, dhanyoham, dhaturadi bhutoham. So I am dhanya, that is, I have attained the highest, and so I am extremely accomplished, and I am so very sated, that is satisfied in my existence itself. So I have attained what has to be attained. Dhanyoham, bhutoham. So I am the source from which Data is actually Brahma, that is the Chaturmukha Brahma. Adipadena, all other gods also. I am the source from which all the gods appear. So here in this context, the Trimurtis also are those who are created. In the sense, they are all pertaining to creation only, and this Turiya Brahman is beyond creation, and all Devatas and all that, Devata Murtis and all that, they come within the creation because they have got functions, and those functions are related to creation only. So when the creation itself is transcended, the gods and all that will not be there in that state. So he, in this enlightened person now says that I am the source from which all the gods, etc., they have emerged. Then Namadi Virahitoham, Naraka Svargapavarga Rahitoham, Nadanta Veditoham, Nanagama and Nikhila Vishwasaroham. So here, namadi virahitoham. So nama is the name actually. So I don't have anything like name, form, any of the attributes and all that. I don't have any of them at all. Namadi virahitoham. Naraka Swarga Apavarga Rahitoham. So Naraka is hell, Swarga is heaven, Apavarga is moksha. So all three things are also put in one category here. That is, these three things can happen only to those who have the ignorance, basic ignorance as some entity, some human entity or whatever. So this also has been very nicely demonstrated by Bhagavat in the Adhyasa Bhashya itself. At the very beginning of the Brahma Sutra Bhashya, in the Adhyasa Bhashya, he has so nicely stated that. So he says, Bhagavat says there, all Shastras, including Vidhi Pratisheda, that is the Vedic portion which is all about enjoining and prohibition, that is the Veda Purva Kanda, that is the Karma Kanda, and the Jnana Kanda, which is about moksha sadhana. As Shankaracharya says, all the Shastras, including the Moksha Shastra, they operate in the realm of ignorance only, Adhyasa only. Only because this Atman is wrongly identifying itself as a human or as a person, this person is now subject to the commands of the Shastram or the prohibitions of the Shastram and also the Moksha Shastram, because only a person with Adhyasa can think of himself as a person and he will have some desires, and to fulfill those desires he will, if he is an Astika, he will approach the Veda, and the Veda will give him so many ways of attaining his, fulfilling his desires, and ultimately the Veda is alone gives him knowledge about moksha also. So even to strive for moksha, the pre-qualification is that he has to be a human with the wrong idea that he is a human. That is, he has got body-mind complex and all that. Only such a person will become a candidate for Moksha Shastram also. Bhagavad says so boldly that Moksha Shastram also is operating in the field of realm of avidya alone, adhyasa alone. Then Dharma Dharmadi Bandharahitaha, Dharma Dharmadi Ubhaya Bandhar Vilakshanaha. So I am free from both Dharma and Dharma and the effects of both Dharma and Adharma. That is Swarga and Naraka and all that. Dharmika Jana Sulabhaha. So I am the one who is Dharmikaha, Swadharma Shilaha, Tesham Sulabhaha. That is the Swadharma or Karma. So it is given so much importance in the Vedanta Sadhana. Bhagavad also says in the Sadhana Panchakam, Vedo Nityam Adhiyatam, Tadodita Karma Swanushtiyatam, Pena Yashasya Vidhiyatam Apachitihi, Kamya Padistyatam. So one has to perform his duties as enjoined by the Shastra for as according to his Dharma, Varna and Ashrama. So that performance also has to be in the form of worship of the Lord. So Dharmikaha, Sadharmashilaha, Tesham Surabhaha. Only such a person can be a Adhyatma Sadhaka. Dhanyoham, Shlagyoham. So Dhanya is, I am someone who is who has accomplished the highest. And if anybody can praise anyone in the world, that praise will be truly justified only in his case. All other attainments are not so very great, but then this attainment is the highest, and that alone is praiseworthy. And so I am the one who is praiseworthy. That's what this aspirant says, this enlightened person says now. Dhaturadi bhutaha, dhatuhu brahmanaha, adi bhutaha, karanam ahameva. So I am the cause, or I am the source from where Brahma also has emerged. Actually, Brahma is a personification, but actually Brahma is representing the manas aspect or the buddhi aspect. So buddhi, manas and all that are effects of avidya, of course, maya, and actually Brahman alone appears as manas, buddhi, sankara and all. Stop in this session. Dvandvam vandeham atita dussahadvandvam Bhranti grahopashantim pam sumayam yasya vasitam atanute शास्त्रं शारीरमीमांसा देवस्तु परमेश्वरः आचार्या शङ्कराचार्या सन्तु मे जन्मजन्मनि विद्याविनयसम्पन्नं वीतरागं विवेकिनं वन्दे वेदान्ततत्त्वज्ञं शेखरभारतीम् ॐ तत्सत्।